Well, just really proud again of how we played last night and liked our focus. Obviously, you move on to the next one, and I think our kids have done a great job of just going one at a time. And the next one right now is Monday night. It means a lot to a lot of people, and we're excited about the opportunity to play here at home again. I think we'll have a great crowd, and just looking forward to getting back at the practice floor today and getting better. I think our kids have done a good job of, again, next one up. Let's go practice. Let's go to work, and let's try to improve. We'll watch film today and see the things we did well last night, as well as some of the things that we probably still need to work on. And we'll get ready for what I expect to be a really great crowd on Monday night in a game, again, that means quite a bit.
Coach, you talked about offensive execution. Is there a greater willingness or belief in feeding the post this season? Because I asked, Victoria had a great diagonal pass to Chinwe, I think, and she wasn't able to finish. But passes like that and in, out, and back out, those weren't regular things that you guys were able to execute last season. How has that happened?
Well, I think a couple of things. Number one, you have to remember there's not many high school players that have 6'7" or 6'5" on their team, or even a post player that can finish a lot of times. So teaching a guard to add that to their game sometimes can take a while. And there is an art to feeding the post. Our post players did a great job last night catching some really thread the needle type passes, and so that's the first thing I think, and then I think Tiara and Chinwe have earned the trust of our team in knowing that if they get the ball down low, that there's a really high percentage that they're going to finish. Chinwe's shooting 58% right now. Tiara's up to 55, and so that's overall in the season. They may be better in conference, and so I think that's the other piece is just that. And then there's the playing together and the feel factor for one another, knowing where somebody's going to be on the court, knowing where you're supposed to be when we drive it here. Or I think those kinds of things. Again, Tiara's just a sophomore, so she's midway through her second year. Chinwe is just in her third year, and so I think all that kind of plays into it.
What's Victoria giving you in the last, say, couple of games or so that you like?
Well, I think one thing she's learning to enjoy the assist. She's made some really good decisions with the ball. I think when you add the rebounding, the defense, and the assist piece to what we already knew was a very prolific scoring piece, that's when you start molding and putting together an All-American basketball player. And I think that's what I notice right now about her is she's starting to add the other pieces that really make it hard to defend her and just add to our team.
You talked last night about the work that Johnny's been doing with the post players. You mentioned how the perimeter players have to learn how to play with the posts, but how have the post players learned how to get deeper into the lane and seal their players to create those angles for the guards to get them the ball?
Well, we typically work 2 or 3 times a week with what we call triangle passing, and again just teaching those posts to give us both numbers. If our guards can see both numbers, then we got a chance to feed you the ball. And then, unlike a lot of teams where you have maybe a finesse player like a Martha or maybe somebody that's only 6'2", that's maybe quicker than the 6'4", 6'5", with these two, you want them to pin as deep as they can pin. Don't try to play in the mid post. You go get as deep as you can get on ball reversal, and then you can just turn around and, lay it over the front. And so I think that's, again, the timing piece, the understanding the footwork that's necessary. I think last night you saw Tiara catching and stepping before a double team could even get there.
Since Coach Hensel arrived at Ole Miss, it seems like no matter where they are in the standings, they always, this is a really intense rivalry type game. Is that just sort of playing to that rivalry, within the state?
Well, yeah, I don't think it needs anything. Obviously, I've learned real quick going into my 5th year now. This game means a lot. It doesn't matter if you're playing jacks on the sidewalk or checkers in the restaurant. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, it's a heck of a rivalry, and it means a lot to so many people. There's not much middle ground in this rivalry. I grew up in another rivalry in another state, and it doesn't hold a candle to this one, I can tell you.
Morgan, you obviously got introduced to this rivalry, early on in your career. What's it like playing in this game?
It's exciting. A lot of people come out and support the game, and like Coach Schaefer says, this game means a lot to a lot of people. So I don't want to lose to them. My career here, so hopefully go out there and handle business.
Morgan, can you talk about how you've seen either the guards or the post players develop to make things easier on each other to work together?
Yeah, like you said, our post players, they're getting down in the lane and they're posting up. We gotta give them the ball. It makes it easier on us because we don't have to always create and just throw up something. We can drive, ditch to them, easy bucket, like get assists. And if they get double teamed, they do a good job of throwing it out to our shooters like Blair, Torrey, and get easy buckets. So we work from inside out. We're just overall good on the floor.
Morgan, Coach mentioned how much this game, this rivalry means to the people of Mississippi. What does it mean to you players? I mean, every game's important, but a rivalry game like this, what does it mean to you guys?
I'm not a Mississippi kid, but I don't know. It's just something about playing Ole Miss. They get up for us. We get up for them. I guess Mississippi schools, I don't know. It's fun. It's hype.
Morgan, Coach talked about Victoria's assist and how it's helping the team. As a point guard, I know you appreciate that. Just talk about what you've seen out of Victoria's game in that regard.
Well, I have seen assists from Tori, but this year I've seen a lot of steals from Tori. Tori been getting steals. She's just in the right place at the right time. She's playing hard defensively. I knew she could pass the ball, but getting out there getting steals, easy buckets, that really helps our team too because it changes the momentum of the game and it gets us going.
Morgan, do you like Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I haven't drunk it in a while, but I like it.
What's your favorite flavor?
I don't know.
Be careful.
I don't know.
Have you ever heard of a Mississippi State flavor Kool-Aid?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Are any of you guys drinking the Mississippi State flavor Kool-Aid?
No, sir.
Why not?
Coach Schaefer. He keep us level. He let us know we can get beat any day. Come to practice, work hard. So, yeah.
Is it like in that cabinet over there, but the cooler's locked and only Coach Schaefer's got the key, or?
Sure.
Coach, do you want this to be kind of just another game, or do you want some emotion to kind of flow Monday night?
Well, again, I don't think it would matter who we're playing on Monday night. It's a chance for us to go out and win an SEC game, play here at home. They've got a chance to set another record. And so I think that in and of itself makes the game important. Now, you add to the fact that it's Mississippi, and it probably adds a little extra for a lot of people. It'll add a little extra to the environment, to the atmosphere in the hump. So I want our kids to enjoy that. I mean, this is what college athletics is all about. I think that's the beautiful thing we have going here at Mississippi State right now is the college experience is really special. Playing in front of our fans is really unique and special. It's not like that in most places. And so what they've been able to build here and cultivate in the experience of competing is really, really unique and special. So I want our kids to enjoy that. Certainly they'll be probably a little bit louder in the stands for that one. But I think for us, we would probably play this, we're going to have great focus and practice and prepare just like we do for for anyone else because it's important to win in the SEC, and it's especially important to win at home.
How tempted do you think the kids have been to drink the Kool-Aid, and why do you think that they have not?
I don't know that they've been, like I said, we've had a lot of locker rooms after victories now, and some good wins, some hard wins, some tough wins at some tough places. Just our kids are pretty grounded. I think there's a bigger picture for them, and like I told them at Arkansas after we really played poorly and still found a way to win, you know what, it's okay. Good win. We went on the road in the SEC. We're not going to not be happy about that. But I think for us, it's certainly she's right. I'm every day on to the next one and wanting them to get better and not letting them, get, I'm keeping them grounded. I think humble goes a long way in college athletics, and being humble and being hungry can take you a long, long way. And so for us, I think they've adapted to that. They're kind of living with that right now, and that's a good place to be. Yeah.
Morgan, how much, there's only 2 teams undefeated in the top 5, you and Connecticut. How much does last year what happened in Connecticut kind of keep you humble, knowing that, they're still ahead of you and what the bar needs to be after playing them last year?
I think that's why we haven't drunk the Kool-Aid or anything. Connecticut, because everybody in the top 5, Baylor, Maryland, they lost to UConn. So, we didn't play them, but we know we can get better. We know Connecticut's a very good team, so we got to work hard every day so we can get to their level.
Coach, do you think that there will be a point where you let them drink that proverbial Kool-Aid?
Yeah, about May. Yeah, maybe at our banquet. But again, I think right now the recipe for any team's success, whether you're trying to get to the Super Bowl or us trying to win a championship, is you got to stay humble and stay hungry. The minute you start reading your press clippings and thinking you're all that in a bag of beans, that's when somebody whacks you by about 25 and brings you back down real quick. And I think our kids know that and understand that. And I've been real pleased with, I think, their approach for the most part. Again, we're not a great practicing team. Some days are better than others. But when the lights have come on, they've done a very good job of executing, and that sometimes is what a veteran team will do for you.
You spoke a little bit of last night, Vic, but could you kind of compare, how would you compare this 18-0 team to the other 18-0 team? What's kind of the similarities, differences?
Well, I think obviously we did it against a much softer schedule 2 years ago in non-conference. And our schedule this year has been a monster. A lot of games on the road, 8 true road games in non-conference. And so I think from that standpoint, it starts there with how different it is. And yet, with that non-conference schedule, we still were we played very well. In some games dominating, and others found a way to win, but had some success. And then, opening conference 4-0. Again, I think we've executed. We've won 2 games on the road. So I'm not sure how similar, other than the record itself. To me, it's really 2 very different scenarios. And really 2 very different teams. That team was young. Morgan, Blair, Victoria were all freshmen. Katera and Bree, Chinwei, Dom were sophomores. And so they were still trying to find their way. And again, that schedule was really weak.
Is it just experience that makes this team better? Is there other things that you see?
Well, I think the experience factor and our depth. We just have so much depth, and our depth is experienced. And I think that in and of itself makes us quite different. We're too deep at every position. And, again, I've said this all along, Katera Chappell's a starter. Rashunda Johnson started 2 years at Oklahoma State, so you've got 2 more starters coming off. You've got Tierra McCown at 6'7", Blair, and Jazz is really playing well. So those kids have all been in the system, played at this level, know what it looks like, and so we've got a good, solid second unit there that's really been able. And look, lots of people want to play those people, play 10, 12 people, and it's easy to sell that in recruiting. It's another thing to do it. We are doing it, and we're having success. We're able to keep our continuity through substitution, and that's really unique. But I think, again, when you've played together for the time that we have, Jazz and Tierra are the 2 sophomores. So you got 8 juniors and seniors that you're playing in that group. There's going to be some familiarity with one another.
Morgan, do you remember how you felt as a player, 18-0 then, and how you feel now, and how it's kind of different or the same? Or
Well, I've grown into my role of leadership, being vocal. I've grown overall as a player. I was young then, like you said. I was still trying to find myself on the team and help my team overall.